All right, here we go. Sneaky Hembo for Dan Orlovsky on his birthday. That's when Mike T is here for moral support. The Chicago Bears have the 31st, second worst scoring offense during the Super Bowl era. They've averaged 19.1 points per game since 1966. To be clear, not every NFL franchise has been around that long, but every team counts. What is the only franchise to average fewer? But the records say Dan, as he always does, immediately said, well, this is obvious. He says that every week, and he's almost always wrong, so let's see.
So my initial obvious answer was the Browns, but Hembo's one of the nicest people on the planet, one of the sweetest guys going. Mike T was like, there's going to do something diabolical because it's your birthday. I played for the Lions. I have an infamous, non-glamorous player for the Lions. So I think because you're such a nice person and it's my birthday, I'm going with the Lions.
He's going with the Lions. You were closer with the Browns. The Browns are 30th. Oh. The Bears are 31st. The worst is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
You're a sick human.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Well, see, that's a function of your age. I remember when they first came into the league in the 70s and they didn't win a game.
They were the Yucks.
They were the Yuccaneers, and they asked their coach, John Robinson, about the offensive execution. What do you think about your offense's execution? And he said, I'm in favor of it. So that's how bad their offense was when they first came into the league. Okay, that's unfortunate for Dan on his birthday. Let's find out who won the weekend, the second weekend of the preseason. Dan, who won the weekend to you?
I'm going to go C.J. Stroud and Nico Collins. Both of these guys with a little bit of rebound year. C.J. was really sharp. Nico Collins was as well. This is one of the best, one of the very best quarterback to wide receiver duos we have in the NFL because of a lot of variables. Last year, they were kind of quiet. I want to see those guys get back to what they truly are, and it was really nice start-wise for them this weekend.
Mike T, who do you think won the weekend?
Dan, take copious notes. Jackson Dart. You draft a quarterback in the first round. Hopefully he lives up to expectations. What did Jackson Dart do? He smashed them. He has earned the right to start. Despite Russell Wilson looking good, this guy is a force multiplier. He is talented. He is ready to go. He is their week one starter.
And then finally, Shefty, who do you think won the weekend?
Chicago Bears head coach Ben Johnson. Coaching at home, the Bears rack up 38.500 yards against the Buffalo Bills. I know it's preseason. I know everything, but they routed a team that many consider to be the best in football. They're backups, but still, Caleb Williams looked like he could handle it. Ben Johnson looked like he had it, and the Chicago Bears look like they're going to have an interesting season on Sunday night.
Now, I think that's the hope for a lot of people. And last night was about giving those fans that hope. And so Dan's going to break down the tape here again. What we saw from Caleb Williams, I'll caution everyone, is it just a preseason game? Yes. But if he'd looked awful, we would have been overreacting in that direction. Now maybe we're overreacting in the positive.
Yeah, and the play that stands out to me is the Colston Loveland second catch over the middle of the field. You guys can play it one time because it's the clip that speaks to me saying he's really reading in the moment and listening to his feet on what the defense is telling him to do with the football, both where and when. So the concept is there's a little bit of the over the ball, go back to the very top. The receiver's going to sit over the football as the number one read, and Loveland really is like the 1B read. Rewind it all the way back from the beginning, guys. The receiver that sits over the top and Loveland, they're going to stack, okay? No, freeze it, freeze it, freeze it, freeze it. Okay, here's the concept, okay? You have a receiver short and a receiver deep, okay? Receiver short and a receiver deep. Once that linebacker stays low, that's when the feet of the quarterback are going to tell you when to throw the football. Guys, go to the very beginning and just freeze the clip. Don't play anything. Freeze the clip at the very beginning because I want everyone to really understand what Caleb Williams is doing with his feet. Okay, never mind. Here's the concept. Both those guys are 1A, 1B. The quarterback goes one hitch to the short guy.
Here it is.
Okay,
Here it is.
Freeze this. Okay, don't do anything. Okay. He's over the ball. We call it an OTB right here. He's going to sit at about 5 yards. Loveland's going to come on this deep cross, okay? They're going to stack. They're really 1A and 1B, 1-2, however you want it. Now the defense is going to do this. He's dropping down. He's coming to the middle of the field. Now what happens is these guys split a little bit. So when they split, you really sit there and go, okay, I'm going to take this completion right here. Now play it. Okay, when that happens, the quarterback's feet, now freeze it. One hitch goes there. See, he goes one hitch to here. He feels him low. That means I have to get to a second hitch and throw this guy behind. Play it. Second hitch ball. out right there. That's perfect, okay? So that's exactly how you want to see it happen. A lot of the other completions last night, first guy open. That's the one where you're reading it in the moment. I don't care if it's the preseason or not. That looks the right way.
Right.
Agreed. That throw is hard for a quarterback to get it up and down, and there's a lot of veteran quarterbacks today that will still struggle with that being an accurate throw.
Totally.
You were making the point, Shefty, earlier, for those who are just joining us, getting set for first take, whatever the case may be, that the Bears and Ben Johnson may have purposely overloaded Caleb Williams a little bit in this camp.
I think Ben Johnson wanted to get an idea this summer of what Caleb Williams could and couldn't learn, how much he could process, how fast he could do it. And so they threw everything at him. It's like trying to learn a new language and immersing yourself in it and then seeing what you actually learn after you visit a foreign country. And now that he's basically through the training camp part of that, they have an idea of what he can and can't handle. And you heard both the head coach and the quarterback mention that a light went off the last 5 days, that he seemed to pick up things more and more often at that point in time. And so it was a situation where they felt like the light has begun to click on for him.
Your ability to see who it was that was calling you on that phone at that moment and not lose track of your thought whatsoever. I see who it is. Okay, never mind. Your secret is safe with me. The point that I'm making is he's literally taking a phone call and not breaking stride mentally for 1 second as he makes his point.
One other really important point Hembo reminded us, which is last year, league-leading 68 sacks. They only scored on 15% of their drives, Greeny, when their drive included a sack. The avoidance of a negative play will be as important as anything else.
We're not going to overreact, but it happened.
Right.
And so we have to diagnose what happened. Last year, with him as their quarterback, it was the most off-schedule offense in the NFL. That's not good. Last night, it was consistently on schedule because of his play. So our job is to talk about that and talk about how and why it happened. Will it happen next week or throughout the season? We're going to find out. I said it this morning already. Number one was open a lot last night. He did his job, okay? The next step will be when number one's not open. What does it look like? Will he still listen to his feet? When 1 and 2 aren't open, will you still listen to your feet and still remain as efficient and as fast and as execution-centric?
Bear in mind, his first game, 3 weeks from tonight, Monday night against the Vikings, against a Brian Flores.
It's going to look very
defense.
different.
Yeah, Brian Flores is like legendary for confusing quarterbacks. We'll see what it looks like. Okay, running out of time. Little League World Series rolls on today. Venezuela and Japan start us off 1 Eastern on ESPN and Plus, followed by South Carolina versus Nevada. Then it's Chinese Taipei and Aruba.
Yeah, but what game really matters, Greeny?
And then we cap the night with Connecticut.
Come on, Connecticut!
Taking on South Dakota. All right, first take around the corner. Who's been more impressive this season, this preseason? Shador